Hey everybody, John C. here in sunny Southwest Florida, and I hope you're having a great day wherever you are today. Hey, this is a new series. Actually, it's an old series that I'm putting life back into. It's called Carpool Conversations. Here's what we're going to do today. I'm going to go pick up a special guest, and we are going to go get a cup of coffee, and on the ride there, we're going to have some conversations. Stay tuned. I'm going to pick him up right now. Hey everybody, this is Karl Gibbons. Welcome, Carl, to my first in many Carpool Conversations. Are you in the picture? Let's scoot this over a little bit. We'll get you straight here.
If I'm not, I soon will be.
There you go.
Thanks for having me.
Hey, I'm glad to have you. Welcome to the first in Carpool Conversations. You got to put your seatbelt on.
I better get strapped in, right?
You'll be in a mess if
Buckle up.
If I hit something.
We're in for a great ride.
We're in for a great ride. It's good to have you today.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Welcome. You look good.
Thank you, sir.
I want him to tell you a little bit about who he is, what he does, where he works, all that fun stuff. Carl, give us 30 seconds of.
I thought that's what you were going to tell me.
Well, I forgot. Sorry. You jump in.
Okay.
You tell us.
Third Eye Management, or as we're better known as TEMA, we work with small and medium-sized businesses, medium-sized market businesses, and our mission is very simple. We want to help them increase their revenue, control or reduce their costs, because sometimes you can only turn the lights off so many times, right?
Right.
And amplify their market share. We want them to be the top dog in town.
You want them to get big and be the best.
I want them to be the biggest and the best, and the most profitable.
I'll give us an idea of what that looks like. So a company comes to you and they start talking to you about their needs, their wants.
Right.
What does that look
like? They come to us for all sorts of different reasons, John.
Okay.
It's not necessarily about they have a problem. All my clients share one thing in common. And that is they all want to go to the next level, but they don't know how to get there. Right now, it could be that they lack resources, which they probably do, and those resources could be anything. It could be people, it could be time, it could be money, it could be expertise, but they've got as far as they can go. And as one of my clients put it to me many years ago, he said, "I'm worried that the next step that I take won't be one of competence, but be one of incompetence. So I know I need help." And once they've got to that point, it's great, because you're now working with the willing. We have a very clear engagement process, and that's very simple. We will spend 2 hours with any business owner. Totally no obligation on their part. The only commitment from them is to talk openly, honestly, and have a willingness to embrace change.
I see. And
during that conversation, we'll touch on all parts of their business. I often say to them, I'm going to take you on a hot air balloon ride. We're going to take the roof off your business, and we're going to fly over the top, and we're going to look down at each part of your business, and I'm going to ask you, tell me, what do you see? And always, without fail, whatever the entrepreneur or business owner is good at, that's what they want to talk about. So I know you're great in sales, great in real estate sales. So if we were to take a look at your business, you'd want to just talk about the real estate sales. So then I'll start to say things like, but what about your margins, John? What about compliance? Are you good there? What about the people that are surrounding you? And that's when things start to, I'm going to say, get uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Everybody starts to fidget in their seat. You know what I'm saying?
I know exactly what you're saying.
It's because that's not what they're good at. And we're all the same. I'm exactly the same. Right. We all want to focus and do what we're good at.
By the way, am I going the right way? Can I get out of here this way?
I think so. Either that or we're going to be going around in circles for the next 3 days.
Here's the problem when I use my phone to do videos. I don't have a GPS anymore, so I get lost in all of these communities. So I have to have that GPS. You know how we function with one
We'll
thing.
get you out safe and sound, don't worry.
Yeah, and if anybody tries to call, text, or email me during this conversation, I'm not going to be picking up because, again, my phone's being used right now.
Yeah.
What brought you to the Naples area? Because it sounds like you're not from here.
No. I like to say I'm from lower LA, Alabama. No, I'm originally from the UK. I was born in Birmingham but spent most of my adult life in London.
Okay.
But about 30 years ago, I discovered Naples.
Wow, that's a long time. I didn't know you were here that long.
Yeah.
I thought you just came over last week or something.
No, I didn't jump the wall. Yeah, I've been here for...
You can, though. I've seen videos of people who jump in the wall recently. I guess it can be scaled.
It can. there's always a way around, right? You
There's
can either
always a
go
way
over it,
around.
under it, around it, through it, whatever.
That's right.
And I became a citizen in '08.
Oh, fantastic.
I took the pledge, and
congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
So tell us this, Carl. How long have you been in business? Give us an idea of your
Well, I had
existence.
hair when I started.
That long ago?
It was that long ago. And if you can find a picture of me with hair, you'll be doing good.
Okay.
Third Eye's been around now for 30 years. In fact,
Wow.
31 years. My journey has a value. And if I can help entrepreneurs accelerate their journey through my experiences, then that's got to be of a help.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And that's how it started.
One of the best things I learned from my dad growing up, he always used to say, a wise man learns from his own mistakes. A wiser man learns from other people's mistakes, right? So
Absolutely.
what a great piece of advice. And it sounds
Absolutely.
like that's kind of what you're doing. You're helping
It
people
is.
learn from your mistakes, but also
is.
your successes as
It
well
is.
too over the years.
It
So
is.
tell us this, what areas, towns, countries do you primarily work right now with helping people?
I do business all over the US and in Europe. Clearly, I have a very high central
Concentrate.
Thank you. That's the word I was looking for.
I'll help you with your English.
Thank you. Thank you very much. It's most kind of you. I'm struggling with my American. I have a high concentration in Southwest Florida, but I have clients all over.
So tell us this, Carl. What's your passion with your business? What is it really that drives you and gets you up in the morning and made you start working again?
It's always the fact that at the end of the day, somehow, I've left a business owner, an entrepreneur, an inventor, feeling better than when they got up this morning. Left them feeling that they can do what it is that they set out to do. There was a path to success when they were feeling down, dejected, things are coming to an end. And I don't mean that in a really downer way, but just they'd reached that roadblock and they could see no way out of it. I just get a great high in seeing other people succeed. There are 30 million small, medium market businesses in this country. Yet only 4% of them do sales of $1 million and above and employ 5 people and more. So that's the backbone of the US economy.
Right.
So there are 29 million businesses in this country that are small, mom and pop, single shingle warrior businesses.
Yeah.
That the owner of that business is the CEO on paper, the chief executive officer on paper, but in reality, they're the chief of everything officer. Yeah. They have no IT department. They have no HR department. Right. They've got to do it all.
They wear all the hats.
They wear all the hats. And of course, one of the paths to success is how quickly we can get rid of those hats.
Yeah.
Whether it
get rid of them in what way?
Well, if you've got to learn how to quit if you want to be successful. Okay? You got into real estate because you love selling property, you love the process, you love helping people find their dream home. Yes. You didn't get into it to do HR, you didn't get into it to do accounting.
No.
Okay? So but
I can't stand those.
Absolutely. And neither can most of us, right? So what we've got to do, we need to find a vehicle for you to be able to quit doing those things. Because that will free up your time, your expertise, and your talent, and more importantly than all of those, your passion as to why you got into this in the first place, and therefore you will do more business and become more successful because you are not focusing on all of the things that you're no good at.
Right.
You're focusing on the things that you are really good at.
And from my experience, while we're pulling in to get a cup of coffee, when I have to focus on things that aren't my passion, they suck the passion that I need to be putting into the areas of sales and connecting with people that I love to do.
Right. And you suck at it, right?
Well said. You drink coffee?
I do.
You don't drink tea?
Yeah, I do, but not American tea.
Welcome back. Carl and I have our coffees.
Yep.
We're pumped. We are working through the day, enjoying just good time together. So, Carl, tell me this. What is or who is your favorite client to work with? And maybe it's a person, maybe it's a business, a company, an industry, maybe a size. I don't know.
It's not about the who. It's about the why. They've got to want to embrace change.
Gotcha.
If they're willing to embrace change, and let's face it, change is difficult.
Yeah.
None of us like it because I'm not going to say get in a rut, but we get in a rut.
Yeah.
Right? We've always done it that way. We've always liked it that way. We've always prepared it that way. And when somebody comes along and gives you a different focus and a different perspective, that's when things start to get a little bit distorted.
Yeah.
And it's the people that are willing to embrace that, because once you're willing to embrace it, you're halfway there.
So who or what type of situation is your least favorite to deal with or help? If you've gotten into this situation and you're just like, this is not going to be good.
That's a great question. In essence, it's spotting the guy or the gal, the entrepreneur that knows it all, that have got all the answers.
Yeah.
And more importantly, it's not their fault. It's always the other guy's fault. It's always the other company's fault. If my vendors paid me on time, none of this would. If they'd only order everything from my range instead of those 3 products. Every day I meet with 3, 4, 5, 6 different businesses, all of whom have different challenges.
Right.
So it's very exciting, it's very diverse, and that's what I love.
It's never the same.
Never the same. No 2 days are the same.
So as we pull back into your community here at Port Royal, I just want to... People who don't live in Naples won't get that probably, but people who do will. As we pull back into your community and wrap up some of this conversation, I do want to encourage everybody that gets a chance to watch this a couple things. One, I want to encourage them to reach out to you, whether through Facebook or a phone call or an email to you, and have that conversation with you. That is time that you give up to 2 hours for a first consultation, just to sit and chat, right? Because people out there need that, and a lot of times business owners hit that point. Every business owner hits that point where they're a little embarrassed by their business and what's happening. And to reach out to you and just say, hey, you know what, Carl, can I just sit with you for that consultation you mentioned on Facebook? And can we have that conversation? How can they contact you? What's maybe a phone number? We'll put that below and everything, but give them your phone number.
239-961-0927.
So if you want to meet with Carl, give him a shout, send him a text, find him on Facebook. He's on Facebook. Third Eye Management is also on Facebook as well. You can like their page. And if you're watching this on YouTube, just go ahead and like and subscribe to this as well. That way you can keep up to date. And feel free to share this with anybody that you know has hit that wall in business, or they're at a point where they just want to get to the next level, like Carl mentioned earlier. They're just like, you know what, I've done well over the years, and now I just want to take it to that next step, and I need a little guidance to get there. It's worth spending the 2 hours with Carl and his team to get that evaluation and get that guidance. So I encourage everybody watching this today to do that right away. Carl, thanks for getting a cup of coffee with me today.
It's my pleasure. Thank you.
I loved it. It was a good time, and we may even do it again.
We might. Is that a threat or a promise?
It's a threat. We'll see. Have a great day, guys.
Take care. I've done picking up. We'll have the bloopers, right? Yeah.
Is American tea really that bad?
Yeah, it's disgusting.
Here you go.
Somebody said they burned stuff.
It's
Is
disgusting.
it burnt? What do they do wrong?
Ironically, you're the largest consumers of tea in the world.
Really?
Yeah,
That
but
is weird.
it's the sweet tea and the unsweetened tea. It's that iced. It's the iced tea.
Oh, it's so good. Now you got me talking. That's how I grew up. Sweet tea. My brother used to make the sweet tea for our family. That was his one job. He'd put about 2 cups of sugar in a gallon of sweet tea. Man, it was like a popsicle. It was great.
And then you've got that Lipton stuff. Oh, it's disgusting. It's like somebody swept the floor of sawdust dropping.
So what?